Coming up on Digging into the Future.
You think there's going to be data centers with hyperscalers and edge data centers, or do you think we're going to have, guys that focus on one side of the segment and some on the other? What do you think it's?
No, I think the two will coexist,
Okay.
but it will absolutely complement each other, okay? The hyperscale will continue to grow in 100 megawatts, 200 megawatts, but the new applications going forward cannot do without the edge. The latency stuff that we're looking at, the applications going forward, you cannot no longer have latency more than 150 milliseconds, okay? Right now, data centers, 200 milliseconds, very much okay. But going forward with some of these applications, simply cannot. So going forward, an ecosystem that both the edge and the hyperscale.
So data centers, tell me, describe for me how you would define an edge data center, because it's the buzzword today, and we're hearing a lot about it, but there doesn't seem to be a standard definition.
There isn't really a standard definition, but the key thing is actually a data center that is full of connectivity. That's the key thing. It's no longer just a compute and storage. Okay, it gotta have multi-tenants, a lot of connectivity. It could be at a layer 1, layer 2, a layer 3, fiber level, landing stations, that type of environment. It's an exciting environment that basically is an exchange in that sense, but no longer just at a peering level, at an IP.
Now, you've been in the submarine cable industry, and coming into this data center industry, what do you think? Is it the same? Is it different? Or, I mean, is it completely apples and oranges, or is it linkage between the two industries?
No, it's actually, it's very exciting, because everything that I learned in the last 20 years, actually I'm putting in the edge data center. Is it different? It is to some extent, but it's actually a lot of the same principle apply, okay? I hate to say it that way, but because of the COVID situation, things have accelerated 100-fold, okay? We see the virtualizations, digitalizations coming, but we expect another 5-10 years. But all of a sudden, everything is in the last 12 months. And we see that the demand of setup of an edge data center is more than ever, okay? Because end users now using a lot more bandwidth, not only bandwidth, but real-time bandwidth with critical latency, gravity to it. And the edge data center pretty much serve that, especially in some of the emerging markets where they do not have the huge hyperscale data center. And they need basically a place that they can do the interconnections, exchanging of packets, and at the same time doing some level of compute and storage.
So COVID. So what do you think? You think? Obviously, it's had a huge impact on demand for data centers, fiber. What do you think it looks like 12 months down the road? When COVID is sort of in the rearview mirror. Do you think we still see this demand, or have we fundamentally changed how we work as humans?
I think we are seeing a new normal now. Okay. I think we have, as you said, fundamentally changed the way we operate. We see it now, okay? The way we conduct business. We used to travel extensively. Now that we have proved to the world that without traveling, we can still conduct business, not necessarily 100% compared to the past, but with the technology bridging the gap, that will serve that purpose very soon. So I think we're in a new normal, and I think the changes is going to stay, okay? For us in the business, it's exciting. But obviously, it's going to be a lot more effort in the way we build the networks, the way we serve our customers to get that going, because the end user is going to be substituting their previous way of conducting business with the digitalization, all within it's going to happen, in the next 12, 18 months, absolutely.
Many people say we're going to go to sort of virtualization of everything. Virtualization is the buzzword. What do you think of virtualization, like even with data centers?
Right. Now, actually, with the data center, the entire network is actually going to be the fundamental blocks for it, okay? People will be asking, we have done actually, virtualizations, video for a few years already. What is the difference now? The difference is, in the past, these technologies were only substitute to face-to-face meeting, the way we conduct traditional business. Now, they have taken up the mainstream. They are basically displacing the way we do things in the past. And going forward, these technologies becomes mission critical because the way we do transactions, the way we do conducting business, we don't shake hands anymore, but then we just basically acknowledge each other over the Zoom or team call. That is going to be mission critical. So for us to be able to handle that type of service, we have to beef up the underlying layers, which is the data center, the network, and everything else. In the past, a Zoom call of 99% quality is good enough. Now it's got to be 100%. How do you do that? So you do need to beef up the entire infrastructure. And good to say that, the fiber network in the last 5 years has improved dramatically. But now, the data center side, we got to do a lot more. Just having a hyperscale in one location serving the entire country will not be acceptable anymore. We just got to put in a lot more peripherals or the edges to make sure that the edge data center and the hyperscale actually complement each other.
So Wilfred, one last question before we call it a day today. Looking out into the future, how do you see things? Are you excited about where we're going in the next two years? How do you see the industry as a resident in Asia Pacific and where we all operate today and what is probably the fastest growing markets in the world? What do you think? Do we got a good run for 2 or 3 years, or what do you see of the future?
No, I think I think we're in absolutely a bright. Absolute one of the best spots that you could be in the data center, especially on the edge side of things. And thank to all the people that made the network work for the last 15 years. Now the data center is the key pillar that we have to fix because the network, the subsea cable are all there. The bandwidth, they got plenty of that. The data center is the next one that we have to conquer to provide the end users the level of service that's needed going forward.
Well, that's Wilfred Kwan. Thank you very much for joining us today. And Wilfred, it's been a great day going through many of the key things that are happening across the industry, and it's great to get your perspective on the future. Thanks a lot, Wilfred.
Thank you, Bill.